We like old adverts.
Hello and welcome to another episode of We Like Old Adverts. We are We Like Old Adverts. That includes me, Jim Campbell, who's there,
Hello.
and Joe, who's there. For me, that might switch around on your screen. I don't know. Don't know what your screen is doing. But yeah, welcome back to another episode. And I like to say, let's jump back into it like all the YouTubers. So should we jump into it?
Yes, please.
Now, for me, I mean, this is a classic, isn't it? This is an all-time classic. I mean, this is from when Levi's were really they were kind of the kings of adverts. Like if a Levi's advert came out, it was a big deal. It's almost like the younger listeners, the younger viewers that don't remember this sort of thing, it's almost like the John Lewis advert, but all year round and for jeans. Like it's weird. It occupied a really weird space. But for me, the song, it's all about the music in this song. So this was a song by Babylon Zoo. And back then, there was nothing like Spotify. There was nothing like YouTube. So this song hit #1 from pre-orders before it was even out, before anyone had heard it on the radio. They were like, this song is absolutely banging. But then when the actual song came out, it was a complete fake, wasn't it? It was like one of the greatest swindles in the history of music in the 90s. Because it was like a really grungy, sort of earthy, quite aggressive, just sort of like grungy pop song.
The sickening taste of the velvet jokes, images of fascist votes.
And that was the antithesis of what the people that ordered it were into, because it was quite tribal at the time. And I remember thinking it was just the funniest thing in the world that they'd all been completely mugged off.
Well, it slowed right down, didn't it? You had that Spaceman bit, and then it won't do in that been that world.
Yeah, and it was all deliberately odd and deliberately androgynous and murky, and it was great. It was terrible, but it was also great.
Well, I love a fact I love about Babylon Zoo. We'll get to the advert in a minute. Fact I love about Babylon Zoo: the lead singer was called Jazzman.
He was, yeah.
That's his real name.
Is it really?
He's Indian. His name's Jasbinder Singh Man. He just shortened it to Jazzman.
Yeah, because he, to be fair to him, he did a single later on just called "All the Money's Gone." He was fair play to him. Although he was on Brass Eye, wasn't he? And Chris Morris asked him,
"Are you a genius?" I'd say I will become a genius.
Maybe that's happened in some other field, but I'm not aware of it. But it was. I don't feel like you can separate the advert and the music really, because that was what Levi's kind of made a point of, wasn't it? It was making really big statement.
But loads of their songs got to #1, didn't they? I seem to remember Stilt Skin,
who were manufactured for it, I believe.
Oh, really? Mr. Wazzo, that got to #1.
Yeah, Flat Eric. I was a big fan of Flat
Bombastic
Eric.
by Shaggy.
Right.
Yeah.
Shaggy's due a comeback, isn't he?
I don't know. He had such a good one with "It Wasn't Me."
That was like a comet, isn't he?
Look it up.
He's with what?
With Sting. Him and Sting released an album, Shaggy and Sting. What a combo. And the world are waiting for that one to happen.
That sounds like the Shaggy and Sting sounds like the life cycle of chlamydia.
Yeah. Did Shaggy affect a Geordie accent? That would only seem fair, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I prefer Sting to affect a Jamaican one. I mean, he's been ripping off Jamaican music for the past 30 years. I think that is definitely what the future's going to be like in the 90s. I like the future in the past. 80s future is
the
very
BT
different
Tower.
from 90s future. Yeah, I'm into it.
The BT Tower for me is the ultimate expression of that sort of 80s futurism, and this is a great example of it as well.
Well, 90s futurism is tellies made of liquid and Babylon Zoo being piped through every radio.
Tell you what, though, they predicted the Roomba, didn't they? Pretty sweet. Like, they actually got one right. So, like, the old little, mobile vacuum cleaner, they nailed that. I also like that it's a bit of a confusing advert, deliberately, isn't it? It's been deliberately arch and it's trying to be like a music video, but it's like the song is called Spaceman, so you've got that idea in your head, but actually it's a woman and she's not an alien because these people live on the moon and she also clearly lives on the moon, but they're just blown away that she's wearing jeans.
They really lose their mind over those jeans, don't they? I mean,
they really do.
They're the only jeans in the world cut from 01 denim, but all right. Fine. What is 01 denim? We're not going to tell you.
Yeah, we just made it up. I like that they're watering the moon as well. And you know that it's knowing as well. It's not like have you noticed they're doing this stupid thing? They're deliberately doing that stupid thing. Everything in the 90s was really knowing and arch.
It's been terraformed, mate. They're loving it.
I remember growing up in the 90s and aliens were like this mind-blowing thing. Like they were on everything like South Park and Simpsons and
Take Me to Your Dealer.
Needs to go really. Overall. But
them little aliens that they ate the plastic stuff. They were all they're in an egg, and you put them in an egg, and they ate a little bit of stuff. For people born after the turn of the millennium, we're sorry about this, but hey, you had to be there. If you can remember it, you were there. I've got Levi's on now.
Proof.
Oh, posh.
So it works, doesn't it?
Look at that.
And
you're
earning a bit of money these days, lads.
Spaceman.
The days of me wearing Asda George are over. Sorry, Mum. But I was walking down the street just then, and no one cared. They didn't play Babylon Zoo. They didn't even play their follow-up single Animal Army, which I thought was out of line. But,
or all the money's gone.
Well, here's to Jazz Man. We hope you're all right, mate.
Yeah.
Get in touch. Get in touch. We'd love to have you on the show.
Thank you, Babylon Zoo. Right, moving on. Let's look at advert number 2 of this episode. I believe it's a chocolate bar advert.
Ooh.
Am I correct?
You are, Connell.
Everyone's a fruit and nutcase. Commercial with some ripened raisins.
Plump and fruity.
Boy, what a cutie.
Funky, chunky almonds.
They're the secret of my beauty. Everyone's a fruit and nutcase. Maybe it's the tasty Cadbury's chocolate. Give it an ovation. What a combination. Cadbury's fruit and nut.
I mean, it screams the year 1994, this advert, doesn't it?
Is it that? I would have thought 80s on that one.
I think it's a 90s one. I could be completely wrong there. I don't have the data, but it just something feels very British Empire about it,
Yeah. I don't know if you'd use the word nutcase in advertising now. Probably not. I like that one of the almonds dies. Just really casually, like flips off into a lamp and gets electrocuted, and no one bats an eye. I suppose there's a lot of weird stuff happening already.
Yeah,
but quite visceral.
Is he on death row? Because that's an electrocution, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's he done?
Accident.
Strangled a crunchy.
I'll give you excited. Yeah. It's great though. I remember it really, really clearly. Like.
Yeah. I mean, that dance he does at the end it makes me cringe out of the tip of my penis. It's so bad. I thought the 90s were the irony age, where everyone became kind of postmodern, but he's like,
yeah. Oh, but it's a good. It works, isn't it? Because obviously he's getting that little bit of joy in his day because he's having a fruit and nut at his desk in his really dreary, drudgy office life, and he's having a brilliant time. Again, I don't know why the almond died.
I think it's a symbol of his crushing loneliness.
Yeah,
that he's in a dead end job that he hates. He starts hallucinating that a chocolate bar becomes an animated sexy lady.
Yeah. And she, you can tell as well, she is of real status because she's got those little muscle bound raisins trying to impress and the almonds. There's all kinds of stuff going on around her. She is a popular gal. Which is nice for him.
The raisins look ridiculous. And especially in the 90s, you're like, oh, look at them. Look at these muscle-bound weirdos. But now that's just every man that you meet now.
Yeah.
Blokes are all like that. You see loads of them, that looking guy around.
I think he's in love with her. I think he's in love with the chocolate. But that confused me because she comes alive. Don't get me wrong, she's sexy. She's really fit. Yeah. And she starts giving it the everyone's a fruit and nutcase. But then she dies, goes away. Does he eat her? Does he eat the chocolate?
It's really sad.
Her? I mean,
it's like love story.
Yeah, he's like that. It's a little objet d'art, isn't it? I love it.
I'm into it, though. I'm into it.
Oh, it's really cheered me up, that.
Definitely.
It's good.
It's a dreary day here. I'm looking out of my window right now, but that little bit of calypso has set me right for the afternoon.
Calypso version of a piece from the Nutcracker, which is crazy when you think about the name of the product.
Is that why the nut dies? Is it some subtle reference to that?
Is she a nutcracker, like ball breaker? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very pedestrian name of a brand, isn't it? Fruit and Nut. All right.
Yeah, they're not messing about, are they? Is it another Aardman hit?
I think it's got all the hallmarks.
Another what?
Aardman hit. The absolute advert hit factory that was Aardman Animation.
They had this. They had wagon wheels. I mean, the world was at their feet.
Douglas the Butter Guy.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, you're getting some creature comforts. They had stop motion sewn up back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I might go out.
I'll get one. Let's go down the pub with one.
Do they still do it? Can you still get fruit and nut just straight up?
I reckon so.
No.
It'd be a lot smaller, I reckon. Grumble, grumble.
It's all Yorkies and stuff now, isn't it?
You ever thought of driving a cab, Jim?
And finally, for our third advert of this episode, which is from a massive company that we've all heard of, who've got something new coming out this year. Oh, new stuff!
Non lassù, non qua giù. Non siamo svegli, non. Dormiamo.
What on earth is that? That's like David Lynch.
Well, it is directed by David Lynch, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the very much the kind of selling point of it, and it is really consistent with a lot of his work, isn't it? I'm into it. I love it.
It's like that bit in a Razorhead where the fetus is on the floor singing.
In heaven, everything is.
Yeah.
The only bit that annoyed me was focusing on the duck close up. Didn't need that bit. I preferred it when they were just sat on the couch, the duck and the mummified guy and him. It'd have been better without the close up on the duck. But I'm glad the duck didn't do all. I'm glad he didn't go, all right, or whatever, because then it'd have been ridiculous.
Mank duck.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm just going to play us some Jack and Daxter on the PS2, mate. Oh.
Yeah, it's like
a Spyro. Do it.
It is weird for weird's sake, which is what you're going to get when you're asking when you're basically paying David Lynch to use his style for your brand. But I'm all for it. It's fun. His arm comes out of his mouth for no reason. His head pops off. And what I don't like is the lady going. I felt like that veered in towards parody almost. I don't quite know why. Even if they'd just taken the sound off of it, but yeah.
Does the woman shout PlayStation 4 at the end? It sounds like it.
Because she's shouting from the future, not far away. I like that you don't see the product. They don't show you the product once.
Because
Don't need to.
it could be for anything. Honestly, he thinks it's 2001 or something. Because, I'll be honest, it's not going to make me buy a PS2 so I can play Ratchet and Clank on it. But it could, at the end of that advert, it could bring up anything as effectively. It could have flashed up at the end Feminax and it had exactly the same effect,
If that lass at the end just from down corridor went, "Stop!" That's what all adverts should be from now on. Just play that and then shout a product at the end and show the logo.
Yeah. Dignitas.
Do you know that campaign cost $150 million? You could buy a Vincent van Gogh for that and have enough money left for a Cézanne.
When you say the campaign, presumably not just this advert, just everything related to PS2 at the time, right? The
production, the kind of press nonsense, all the magazine stuff, but in total $150 million. I mean, it worked. The PS2, what is that, the biggest selling console ever or something crazy? Right. And it's brilliant. I miss the PS2 very much. I don't know, if I'd spent 150 million nicker on that advert and David Lynch with his top button up and his big hair came out, "This is what I've got for you." And you're like, oh, it's good, David. Yeah. Did you do anything else, just as a side? Yeah. Did you have the machine in it? And could I see that?
Did you get the PlayStation we sent you?
Yeah. You played it because we were thinking maybe it might be quite a good idea to have some of the games in.
As if he's ever played a PlayStation.
I love the thought of that.
You know what you
get really, really wound up at FIFA.
Tekken 6.
So, thanks for watching We Like Old Adverts. We've been Jim Campbell, Joseph Deeney, and Connell Deeney. Connell's not short for anything. And
now there's Joseph.
Yeah. Good point. Could be. I don't know what you get up to. If you'd like to contact us, please email us at welikeoldadverts@gmail.com. Leave a little message, send suggestions, do whatever you like. We'd love to hear from you. And leave comments down below if you'd like to get in touch that way. It'd be great. So thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Like and subscribe.
Always forget.